Hey guys, this is Superman here, and today we're going to be doing the second part of our tutorial video where I show you the basics of how to make a sync text intro. So, thank you guys so much for hitting that like button on the last video. I got like 14 likes in that video. That was awesome. I only asked for 5 for me to actually release the second video, the second tutorial video. But yeah, thank you guys so much for that. I really appreciate you guys for hitting that like button and being active, and yeah, thank you guys so much for that. Now we're gonna go ahead into our second tutorial video where I will be showing you how to do the whole After Effects part, where we sync the music and we also sync the whatchamacallit, the song and the where is the, I think I might have deleted our music file. This might not be good. This might not be good. Okay, but whatever. No, I have the music file. So, yeah, so I'll be showing you how to sync the song with the text intro, make it do the whole screen pumps and all that stuff. Everything that I do, not everything, but like the basics of what you should do in your After Effects part. So let's head on into After Effects. I'm opening it up right now. While we talk about it, while the thing opens up, I have to say, the project file that I'm opening up is just like a file with all my particle presets, all my little backing presets, stuff like that. So you guys probably will not have this. If you guys want these presets, these particles that I have here, there are a lot of particles. You guys can check out the link below to my sell-fi, and you guys can buy them. I think I'm selling them for like $2, maybe $1. It's really, really cheap. But yeah, you guys can go check out the link down in the description, and you guys can go ahead and buy those. So first things first, you gotta open up your project file. So what you do is you double click in this big box area, big square rectangle area right here. You double click, and then you go and find your saved file, your saved folder with the file in it. There you have all your rendered out images. If you guys forgot to render, you guys should rendered out images, and then you have your camera and light and stuff like that in here. So I explained what this is in the last video. So yeah, you click on this and then you click import. Don't click anything else, just click on the first thing, the AEC file for the animation. So you click import, and then this little folder will appear, and you drop down the folder and you will see a composition. Double click that composition, and there you go. You have your rendered out animation, and then you have your camera. So the main reason I have a camera in here, let me change the composition settings to corridors so it will render faster and you guys will be able to see it. It will be low quality, but it's for the sake of tutorial purposes. So yeah, about the camera. The reason I have the camera in here, you will see in a second while I copy and paste some of my backing particle presets on here. So the first reason I have voice crack. The first reason I have the camera here, as you will see in a couple of seconds, see here, the text moves with the particles. The particles move with the text. The text move with the particles. Same thing. So it moves in synchronized harmony, makes it seem like it's a legit thing, moving in legit time, in space, reality, 3D, whatever, blah 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 blah. So it makes it seem like it's actually, look at that, like it's actually part of the thing, and you actually have a camera moving around, and it's like a still image that you're moving around. So that's the main reason that I have a camera like that. That's the main reason you actually import the camera into Cinema 4, not Cinema 4D, After Effects. That's the main reason you import your Cinema 4D camera into After Effects, so you can have that cool little effect. Also, if you turn off your camera by clicking the little eye here, you will see that the only thing that moves is the text, and then you have your particles or backing just standing there. So yeah, see, it's just standing there. It's not doing anything. So it's really boring. It's really dull. Not really much to it. That's why you have your camera there. That's why it gives that live feeling that it's actually moving. So now what you want to do is, since I have my particles here, I'm going to click right click here, go to new, and go to adjustment layer. Whatever happens in the adjustment layer affects everything underneath the adjustment layer. So let's go into our effects and presets tab. If you don't have that, you go into effects, and then you go down to where is it? Sorry, not that one. You go into window, and then you go into effects and presets, and then you click it, and it'll show up. Or you can click Control+5. So you go into your effects and presets tab. You type in Magic Bullet Looks. This is the color correction software that I use for my intros. You guys can choose something else. You can choose the standard color correction plugin that comes in with the After Effects program. So before I actually get into this, I made a simple mistake. You got to put in a backing. You got to put in go again, just like usual. Right click, new, and then solid, and then bam, you got your black solid. That's your background. That way, the whole the Magic Bullet Looks and all that stuff like that won't affect it to a point where it looks really bad. So just do it. I don't know how to explain it, but if you have a backing, it'll look like way better than it will look if you don't have a backing. Yeah, that's enough explaining of that. So you go into your Magic Bullet Looks layer, you click edit, and then a big window will pop up. I have some presets here. This is some presets by some other YouTubers, some awesome YouTubers with like motion design YouTubers that I bought their motion pack stuff like that. So what I do is I use my own. I click my first CC, which is my CC2. I know the first CC is called CC2, but yeah, simple mistake happened. So I'm going to change all my colors. I'm going to create my own. You guys can create your own as well. I covered this in a separate video on how to something with Magic Bullet Looks. Yeah, it's like one of my first tutorial videos. So yeah, I have that. I'm gonna click finished. I'm gonna click again, right click, new, adjustment layer. I usually have a double color correction on. Some people have single color corrections, but I have a double color correction on, so it makes it pop out more, like with the green, and you can have like a different color in the second color correction. So I click my CC1 this time. It's a different color correction. I'm not gonna change any of it because it actually looks pretty neat. It has that green blue effect. And then I'm gonna go into my particles and then make the color white, so it pops out and makes it match with the green and white color pattern thing I have going on. So now, since you have all the good looking stuff out of the way, things that make the thing look good out of the way, you right click and then you do another adjustment layer. You guys can name your adjustment layers, by the way, if you want. All you gotta do is just triple click it. Oh wait, nope, sorry, not triple click it. That's dumb of me. Alright, you go down here and click rename. That's pretty much it. You can rename it to whatever you want. So yeah, you have your brand new adjustment layer. Drag that right above your camera, so whatever happens on this will only affect the bottom half and won't affect all your other effects on top. So you go over here to your effects and presets tab, and then you type in transform. If I can type in transform, there we go, whatever. I'm not gonna type the whole thing. And then you double click your transform, or you can drag it onto here, whatever you want. I'm not gonna create two transforms, that was my bad. So you have your transform layer, and what you do with that is you pretty much sync the music to the thing. You create screen pumps. That's a different tutorial video that I already did. You guys can go check that out in one of my in my channel. Okay, so next thing I want to do is actually import my audio, my music. So I'm gonna double click on the big square, and then I'm gonna bring up it's gonna bring up this window, and then you import your audio. So I have my MP3 file here, my audio file here. Next thing I want to do is right click again, create new, solid, and then put it all the way on top. That way you can only hear your audio. That way your music will play out, and then you'll be like, okay, I can hear my music. I'm going to sync it now. So I'm going to click this. It's going to be loud maybe. See, as you can see, my audio's here. And now what you want to do is you want to, every time you feel like there should be a bump, or not a bump, a pump, or like a weird awkward movement, or something that you want to do with that part of the song, you click the asterisk key. That's how you keyframe. Not really keyframe, but like that's how you make a marker. Yeah, There we go. That's what I'm going to call it. That's how you make a marker on After Effects. So you can mark that spot down so you can keyframe with it later on. So yeah, all of this, like all this keyframing stuff, was covered in a previous video. I think it's called how to create screen pumps. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna play it out and then I'm gonna create my markers. Alright, so I've created a lot of not screen pumps, a lot of keyframes. Y'all might think that that's a little bit too many keyframes, but yeah, it usually takes me like an hour or two to actually get the keyframes correctly and make it sync properly. And sometimes I might have one or two additional keyframes, so then I delete those out and then I listen to it over and over and over and over and over again to try to get it perfect. So now, since you have that done, you can hide your black solid layer. Next thing you want to do is you go to your layer with your transform on, and then you go drop down, and then drop down again to FX, and then transform. Don't click this transform, the normal transform. That's completely different. That won't even affect anything. So you go to your effects transform, and then you keyframe it. So you have the change keyframe on the marker and then the non-change keyframe off the marker. So I have the non-change keyframe right there, the standard 100 scale. This is how I create my screen pumps. Again, another tutorial video. So yeah, I decreased the scale, I keyframed it, and then I'm going to Control C, Control V all the way throughout the whole thing. It might take a while, just bear with me. So yeah, basically this is what I do. I just copy and paste the keyframes, and you guys might think that it's gonna look a little bit awkward with the same pump over and over and over again, but there's this other plugin that I use, which creates a randomized pump effect, which is really good. It's kind of like an expensive plugin, but I got it for free because I cracked it, or I got a cracked version of it. So yeah, it's really good. That's what I use to create my syncs. Also, I use Twitch sometimes for different types of intros. But I'm almost done with the keyframes. Come on, just a couple more. Sometimes the marker won't be on the dot, so you gotta do up 1, -1. You know, just eyeball it. You know, just eyeball it. All right. So then you have your keyframes done, and then you go all the way to the end and just create the standard keyframe. So the first keyframe. There we go. So now we have our basic screen pump on the keyframes that I have. Just saying, before I play this, the keyframes will not be on point. Just saying, it's not going to be on point because I'm just roughly estimating the keyframes. I usually move these around one or two times, maybe 3, 4, 5 times, and then mess around with it a lot. So now you're going to close up that and then create a new adjustment layer. You guys don't have to do this. You can just stick with the basic pump thing. I like to add in additional styled pumps, so it's like all like woozy and random and stuff like that. So I go into shake. It's called the whole set of plugins is called Sapphire plugins. But the shake, the random pump effect thing that I was talking about is with shake. So I have the plugin on here onto my adjustment layer that's under the transform layer, and open up both of these windows here, effects, shake, and then I pretty much keyframe it exactly where these keyframes are. So what I usually do, for if you guys are following me with the Sapphire plugin, then here's what I do. I do 0 for amplitude first, and then click that keyframe, and then go over here and go to 3, and yep, copy and paste that everywhere. But I changed the frequency to make it constant, 5.2, which I think is the perfect number for the frequency. So I'm gonna copy and paste this all over here. You guys are gonna hear a lot of clicking from my keyboard, Cherry MX keys. Yes, it's gonna a lot of clicky noises. So gotta get all this done. I was thinking at first that I shouldn't really do all the keyframes, but then I was just like, okay, whatever, it's a tutorial video, I'm gonna do it for the sake of you guys knowing exactly what's going on, because some of you might be confused if I just skip through this whole part. So yeah, Control C, Control V, all of these. The way I'm scrolling through each single keyframe is with the page up and page down key, for those of you that do not know that. So at the very end, I'm going to change the amplitude to 0, the standard first keyframe. Now we're going to listen to it so we can see how it is so far. So let me render this out. It's going to take quite a while actually. So yeah, you guys have seen my intros before. If you guys haven't, check those out. I usually have various effects. Sometimes people want like a super chill one, so I don't have much. I just have this, what I've done so far. But usually the stuff is more complicated and there's more stuff going on. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not really going to show you guys everything that I do. Let me just list off a couple plugins that I use though. I use Twitch. I use Trapcode Form, Trapcode Form, Trapcode Glow, Sapphire plugins, a whole set of Sapphire plugins. All of them, I use them eventually because they're awesome. There's like the barcode one and all that stuff like that. And then I use TV Damage. I also use Optics Compensation. I use CC Tyler. There's a whole lot. There's a whole lot of things that I use. So we're gonna let it render out until this keyframe, this marker thing right here. Yeah, I also use like a normal black solid and then change the opacity, like make it have like every time it goes like, I make the opacity go down. Like the whole way you do this is that you have to listen to the music and then think about what effect should go with which part of the song. So that's pretty much how you're actually supposed to. Like, you have to visualize it before actually doing it. It all depends on which song that you choose. So, yeah. We're nearing the end here. We're nearing the end over here. Come on. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Come on. There we go. All right, let's play it out. So as you can see, all the keyframes are not perfect. That it mainly is because of the delay that your brain has. When you listen to something, you're like, you can't immediately react to that. So you gotta move these around. Sometimes you might get them on the dot, but because you have a pretense of exactly where it's gonna be. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, I go into another adjustment layer and then add in a motion tile. What this does is it makes a little cinematic bars, the little black bars on the top and bottom, which makes it look a lot more professional. I usually add them right when the bass drops. So I usually have them on the first marker, which is where the bass drops. So remember, just a standard keyframe, and then the change keyframe. And there we go, we got the black bars. Also, what I do is I create like a little fade in effect with the song and the black solid. So let's put in the audio here. So the more negative the audio goes, the less you can hear of it. And then I'm gonna do it around here. And then 0 is normal. And then you go back to your black solid. I click T for opacity, and then click 100. Yeah, standard 100. So it's dark. And then it dims down to 0. Oh, wait, sorry. It dims down to 0. And there we go. See, just like it dims down to 0 and then bam. And I usually add them to the end also. There we go, you guys. Those are the basics of what I do. Remember, all those other plugins that I've listed I use, plus like tons more. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was a little bit of helpful. A little bit helpful. Maybe more helpful if you guys think it is. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to leave a comment, like the video, and subscribe. Bye, you guys. Have a good day, and peace.